everybody, it's Dove Hammer, and I'm back at you with another blues harmonica tutorial. As you could hear, I was playing on the very top of the harmonica, the highest notes, and I was bending. So that is the subject of today's tutorial. I'm going to talk about blow bending. Blow bending because on the higher holes of the harmonica, holes 8, 9, 10, you cannot blow on the draw notes. You can only bend on the blow notes. As you recall on the tutorial, if you've seen the tutorial that I did on draw bends, on the introduction to bending, we said that in every given hole there are two notes, one on the draw and one on the blow. You can always bend down the higher of those two notes. On holes 1 through 6, the draw note is higher, so you can bend the draw notes down. On holes 7 through 10, the blow note is higher, therefore you can bend the blow note down. On hole 7, there isn't really a blow bend because there's only a semitone, a half a step between the 7 draw and the 7 blow, so there really isn't another note there to be had. But on hole 8, you have half a step you can bend down. On hole 9, you also have half a step you can blow down. On hole 10, you have 2 half steps you can blow down. Now, to simplify this whole thing, I will say that generally when you are playing blues, you're not very often going to want the smaller bend on the 10 hole, the half step. You're going to want the full step. Now, what I just played to begin this was my version of Jimmy Reed's Honest I Do. Jimmy Reed was well known for playing first position. Jimmy Reed played a lot of songs first position on the harmonica, and we use the blow bends a lot when we play first positions. I actually did another tutorial on first position, and we talked about James Cotton's song where he does that a lot. He plays, most traditional blues players, when they're playing first position, play either on the low octave of the harmonica, holes 1 through 4, or on the very top, holes 7 through 10, where they do a lot of blow bends. So let's talk about how we do those blow bends. As I said in the first tutorial, teaching bends is one of the hardest things in the harmonica to teach, and learning how to bend is one of the hardest things to learn because it's really hard to describe. Many people have tried to describe it in many different ways, but I will say this. When you are draw bending, you're trying to narrow the air passage at the back of your throat. Narrowing the air passage at the back of your throat changes the angle of the air in such a way that it will cause the draw note to bend down. With the blow bend, you move that pressure point, that narrowed point, to the front of your mouth. So it's sort of the opposite. Instead of, like, for some people, it means some people bend by moving their tongue back or narrowing this part. When we blow bend, we're sort of pushing our tongue up at the front of the mouth to cause a little bit of a pressure point at the front of the mouth. That will cause those notes to bend. One other thing I will say, I've probably said a few times in these tutorials that you should not play too hard. You should not push, and that I stressed in the other tutorial that bending does not need harder blowing. It's all in the movement in the mouth. Same goes for blow bending, although I will apply a little bit more pressure sometimes when blow bending. It's not really blowing harder, it's sort of squeezing the air out of the front of my mouth over that hump in the tongue. So that's the 9. I am using a G harmonica here. I'll talk about that in 1 second. I'm sort of pushing my tongue forward to create a situation where there's a sort of a narrower air passage at the front of my mouth. Why am I using a G harmonica? You could do this on any harmonica, obviously, but it's very hard and slightly unpleasant on the ear to blow bend on high-pitched harmonicas. Just for example, if I take the highest of the normal tunings, the F harp, it's a little bit harder to do technically, and it's very piercing on the ears. I suggest practicing, particularly when you're beginning it, try the lowest harp that you have, a G, an A, even a B flat. Higher than a B flat, I think it'll be hard and unpleasant. I like bending on blow bends on the G, on my A harmonica. I'm doing it on G to keep it nice and pleasant here on the ear, because this is the highest bend that I have here on 10 hole. Once again, I'm not differentiating between pucker embouchure or tongue blocking embouchure. Either way, it's the same idea. You create that pressure area, the narrower air passage at the front of your mouth, as opposed to the back of your throat where you do it when you're jaw bending. So once again, on the number 8 hole, I can go down a half a step. On the number 9 hole, and on the number 10 hole, I can go 2 half steps. So it's a little bit hard to control that 10 hole bend. But for the most part, if you're playing blues, if you're playing first position blues, you will want the bigger of the two bends, the full step bend. Like if you're doing whammer jammer, when he goes. What did I do there? That last bit was 9 and then 9 bend. 9 bend up to 9. And then 10 down to 10 bend. And a little bit of vibrato. So that's the long and short on blow bending. It's easier to learn to blow bend once you already have the jaw bends mastered. Learn jaw bends first, then move on to blow bends. When you go to blow bends, start on a low-keyed harp. I was demonstrating here on my G harmonica. Again, a narrow pressure point at the front of your mouth, close to like the back of your teeth, and a steady air pressure. If you let the air pressure drop down too much, it'll just stop playing. But try to keep it steady. So I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this lesson, don't be ashamed to click the like button down there. I'd be really happy if you subscribe to this channel. On this channel, I have live music from my performances, my new music that comes out, and also many more harmonica tutorials. If you have any questions or if you have any requests for me to make a tutorial on a particular subject, write them in the comments below, and I promise to answer every comment and every request that you put down there. So once again, thanks for watching.